Welcome to Bunnyfish Crafts. I'm Heather, your host, known as Bunnyfish on Ravelry and Plurk. This is episode 14, New Technology. Grab some sticks and string and come sit with me. As you can probably tell, we are in a new location. We are at my computer because my boyfriend got me a webcam for Valentine's Day so that I could record better quality podcasts. I'm going to attempt to keep looking at you up here. This is where my camera is, but on the screen right here is me. And when I was recording on the camcorder, the lens was here, and then there was like a little video record, like the screen right there. So I was looking to the side a little bit, but now it's totally different. Actually, let's see if I can... Oh, that's better. I can move me up, so now I'm not looking so far down to see me, because I would try to record without looking at myself, but I think I would get a little messed up if I tried to do that. I know a lot of people cover their screens, but I am not that cool. So, on to actual content. Selfish Craft Along is going on. You have one more week. One more. So go ahead, get in your projects. Any Rav-sanctioned craft is okay, as long as at the end it's something for you. It can be a work in progress before the craft along started, or you could have started it specifically for this craft along. That's totally okay too. Just make sure to tag your project with BPH SELF for Bunnyfish Selfish, and put your project in the finished object thread. Prizes. Well, the prize will be me knitting a pair of socks for you out of yarn that I will put a picture up. I meant to put it up last week, but I didn't. So a picture of the threads that you can choose from, I'll put up this week, which is good because there is more that you can choose from. I think it's only one more colorway, but you know, it's one more. So I'll be showing you that later, and I'll be putting up those pictures and trying to be a little less scatterbrained while I'm recording. And I think that's everything you need to know for the craft along. So this week I have a finished object. I know, surprise! It's been a while. But here it is. I'm going to stand up. Here is snuggle number 2. It is about 39 by 36, I think. Made out of black and white acrylic remnants, and it is 1,800 plus yards of yarn crocheted into that. Oh yeah, it's 999 grams. But Molly approves of the snuggle. I set it down on the floor to take a picture for my Ravelry page, and she jumped on it and then stretched out and laid on it. And I was like, no, this isn't for you. Snuggles are for the Yarnivore podcast. Knit, crochet, sew along, and once you finish your snuggle, you take it to a shelter. And the shelter that we are taking it to, well, you know, the royal me and the kids are going to drive there, is going to be the shelter that we got Molly from. Either the one we got her from or the one that she lived at for the first stay that she had. She was transferred from one shelter to another, trying to get her adopted because she had been in the system for so long. It is on a USK 6.5 millimeter hook, and I'm really glad that it's done because it was getting pretty difficult to work on at the end because it was so big. On to works in progress. I have a ton. Finished one thing, started another, and still have all the other things going. So we will start here with Amanda's sweater. It is a bit bigger you might notice, last week I had just split for the arms. And now, let's see, let me just back up. There you go. It is from here to here, just under, well, it might now be 16 inches. Oh, it definitely is, because it's over 16 inches, because it was just under 16 inches at the beginning of this gray stripe. And I'm going to 24 inches and then doing the bottom ribbing. So I think that works out to 6 stripes, including this little black one, and then the bottom ribbing. And I did one arm, and the other one is still waiting. I just wanted to see how it would work out, and it was a nice quick round break instead of working the rounds that are so much longer. I did waist shaping, which you can't see because my cable is really, really short, but right here it goes in, and then here it comes out again. Hopefully this will be done next week. If I work on it at the rate that I worked on it this week, it should be done or really close to done, like maybe the bottom ribbing and or the sleeve will need to be done by this time next week. Setup is really, really weird, by the way. Not used to my desk, so I'm going to try not to be too ridiculous. But the color, hi! This color is amazing. You can actually see things. Also, Molly is playing with a cat. There must be a cat on the stairs. She is afraid of our cats, and she will not go up the stairs if the cat is there. Lapgan. It is 5 squares wide, which is how wide it's going to be, and then it's going to be 4 squares tall. Yeah, all you can do when they do that is just giggle and turn your head. It's not worth it to argue. So far, I have used Lion Brand Homespun in the colorway Cream or Deco. It might be Deco. Cream or Deco. Not sure. Tudor's brown color is Barley. This portion right here, this green, I'm not even sure it's Lion Brand Homespun, but it's very similar in texture. I'm positive that this blue is Lion Brand Homespun, but I couldn't find the color. Maybe it's discontinued, or they just didn't have it up on that website. This pastel might not be Lion Brand Homespun. I didn't see a colorway, but it's very similar in texture and weight. And then this square right here, I ran out of the cream color, so I had to go with a white that also might not be Lion Brand Homespun, but it's very similar in weight. So I'm just going to pretend that it all is. I will hopefully have another square done on that next week, and I think my boyfriend is sending me a text message. Oh yes, he is asking if the camera is recording. I hope it is. I did a test to see if it would work, so hopefully this all goes off without a hitch. So let me just finish sending him that I think so. And I think so. Mary I'm thinking of you. On to the next thing. Started a pair of socks for me. Lapgan, made on size 10 US and 6.0 millimeter needles. Okay, socks for me. I'm using this, sorry about that, this Premier Serenity sock in the colorway Surf. And look at how those are matching up. I think that they are 10 stitches off, and I will take 10 stitches. Not a big deal to me. As you can see, I started the star pattern on the foot. I am designing these socks. Someday I will be looking for test knitters. Not too far from now. They will be done by the end of the month, so if you're looking for a sock pattern to make in March, hey, I could use a test knitter or 2 or 3. Let's see. Started on another snuggle. I finished the black and white snuggle last night while we were watching Finding Nemo after dinner. My phone is dying. So this morning, sidetrack, this morning I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. No reason. Possibly because Mara had climbed into my bed. She's been doing that for the past few nights. She's been having nightmares, so she crawls into my bed, and sometimes it's not a big deal. Usually about time number 5, I'm just too tired to fight her. Last night, she climbed in my bed. I woke up and moved her and couldn't fall back to sleep. Went down to the couch, tried sleeping there, no deal. So after wasting like half an hour, I got up and came downstairs and watched a podcast and started knitting. And this is one of the things I knit on. This square is going to be wonky because I put the decrease in the wrong place on the first. But this snuggle is going to be, I'm going for a 24 by 24, and it's going to be 4 blocks by 4 blocks, so 16 blocks total. It's just a miter square because it's easy peasy, and with the stitch marker there, I can do it practically in my sleep. So this is made on US 8, which is 5.0 millimeters, and I'm using Caron 1-pound remnants from my mom. I'm using this pink color, and I'm also going to be using this green color, and I'm pretty sure that those two together, because this is what's left of the pink and the green, pretty sure those are not going to be big enough to make a 24 by 24 snuggle. So there is another skein that's like a seafoam green sort of color that I'll be using too. Onto Mandy's thigh highs. The blue pair, which is made out of Serenity sock weight indigo using US 2.75 millimeter needles, and doing a ribbing pattern. I didn't bring those because I had just cast them on last time, and I got them to about 1 inch, just long enough for my dissertation swap, but I put them on a cable not to use, because first I want to focus for the dissertation on the black socks. I'm using the pattern Cinderella's Cinderella's Secret Stockings by Ruth Ramanan. And I don't know if you can see because it's black, the patterns. Oh, I think you can get the gist. There's lace right here. Oh, there you go. And then the ribbon goes in this valley right here. And then there's a double heart detail. I am to the knee. This heart detail goes over the knee. And this is where I was last week. I'm using US size 2.75 millimeter needles and Knit Picks Stroll in the colorway black. And the other pair, the third pair of thigh highs for Amanda, using Serenity sock weight. I did not get as much done on these as I wanted to. This is where I was last week. I got 6 repeats, except I still need to cable this part of the needle to finish off the repeat. I wanted to get at least 7, but I was hoping for 10. There are 11 repeats left for the legs. I want to get through those so that I can just have the foot to work on after next week. Serenity sock weight charcoal and US size 1, 2.25 needles. I did spinning. I didn't do much work on my domino, but I did a little. Oh, and now you can see how thick this fiber is, or thin. You get a really good idea. So you can actually see. This is made on my Thomas Creations, Threads Through Time on Etsy is the shop. Look how gorgeous that is. Yeah, beautiful. I love spinning on that. I don't spin very much. I think I spun an hour on that project total last week, but it's my Zen project, so spin on it when I feel a little bit of need for Zen. I finished the purple. This is 2 ounces of mystery fiber from Carrie. She gave it to me during Tour de Fleece last year because I said I didn't have any more fiber. Because I didn't have any more fiber, not I said. I didn't have any more fiber, so this is part of what she sent me. And that is my single. And I will be applying it with this blue. It's darker than that. There we go. That's much closer. I mean, it's still a little bit darker, but that's closer. And it is spinning up not very consistently. It's got these fuzzies in there. I mean, this is just a slub. I could try to make it thinner, but then it would be too thin. I've been working on consistency with it. I haven't spun that much of it. I'm not too worried about it not being consistent and having slubs and stuff because this to me says art yarn, these two. I think they'll be really pretty and I don't mind that they're going to be an art yarn. But I think you can see how it's got like these, the pink, right there, the pink fuzzy, it's got fuzzies through it, like just patches of fuzz. I don't know what this is, what fiber. These are both mystery fibers. I think I said that, but I don't know what they are. So, art yarn, yay! Those are all of my works in progress. I do have an idea. Oh, sock yarn blanket. Let's not skip things. I only did 4 squares, and 2 of those squares were out of scrap pieces of yarn. So, 1 square that was out of actual yarn was made out of Croy rag shades in the colorway Gray Brown Marl. And the other, I forgot to bring the yarn down, was made with Science Monkey Mercantile Faraday in the color NSO Vember. It's that really pretty pink and black that I made Bliss's socks out of. And on to ideas. A woman in one of the groups that I'm in on Ravelry is having her baby, and I'm pretty sure it's her first baby, so the group is making her stuff. And I'm going to use this to make her a sleep sack. I'm thinking an owl sleep sack because I keep wanting to make things with owl cables, but I don't have a use for a hat. I already have arm warmers. I don't really need a scarf. So I can just make her a sleep sack with owls out of this. And that is my plan. On to new things. I have a lot of new things. But I did not buy these new things. Last Wednesday, I checked my post. I think it was Wednesday. I checked my post and there was nothing in the mailbox, but outside my door, there were 2 packages. I knew that my sister was sending me a package. So, both of them were from my sister. So I saw this one and I was like, well, what's in there? I'm sure that's what I was expecting, which was yarn for socks for her. This is Peyton's Lace in Sachet. And it is acrylic mohair and wool. And it tells me that it's socks for Pookie. That means my sister. I'm sure you've heard me refer to Pooks. That's who I'm talking about. And then this says, when I grow up, I want to be socks for Dennis. I don't know the colorway of this because it doesn't have a tag. So that is what I was expecting. I knew that I was going to get these yarns because she told me. She called me from Joann's and asked if I could make her socks out of that. And I said, well, it's not really ideal for socks, but I can make it. I can do it. This, oh, there goes my headphones. This is a boot box. Is it all on screen? Yeah. It is a boot box full of yarn. This is the first layer. First layer, as in there's more than one. I was so excited when I saw it that I called her at work and I was like, so, about this red box. And she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then she told me that she had picked up the brightest colors of sock yarn that she could so that when this yarn grew up, it could be awesome in my sock yarn blanket. And this is the bottom layer. And of course I'm going to tell you what it all is because I'm so excited for it. I totally squeed and there was prancing. She got me 2 more Peyton's lace. This is the porcelain colorway. And this is Peyton's lace sequins in amethyst. Now, I think I'm going to make, can you see the sequins in it? Oh yeah, a little bit right down here. I think I'm going to make a shrug sort of thing. Oh, there's a whole bunch on the top. There we go. I think I'm going to make a shrug sort of thing for my sister out of this. I'm not sure what I'm going to use this for. They're not really the right weight to use in my sock yarn blanket, but I guess I could hold them double and make squares. But first I would want to use them for actual projects. She got me Sensations Truly in Truly Red and Truly Turquoise. I'm really excited to have some solid color sock yarn. My Joann's doesn't sell solid color sock yarn, and the local yarn shop, I can't remember seeing solid color sock yarn there either. It's mostly, you know, hand painted stuff. So I haven't done any patterns that really require solid color sock yarn because I don't have access to it. So I'm planning on doing some complex stuff with those. She also got me Sensations Bamboo and You pattern. This is pink red pattern. These colors are all so fantastic. I really can't wait to knit these up into socks so that they can go into my sock yarn blanket. But that can't happen until I do 25 pairs of socks out of my stash. So better get knitting. For those of you who have not been counting but are interested, I have done 6 out of the 25 so far this year. And I have 4 on the needles. This is Souls and More. And this is the green, blue, yellow colorway. I don't see the yellow. There's definitely green and blue and brown. Maybe this little gold stripe right here is what they're talking about for yellow. I'm not sure. There's that, and this is also Souls and More, and this is purple, pink, gray. I'm guessing that they mean that blue-gray is the gray, and also the blue. Very, very exciting names for those colors. I actually looked at this when I bought this. I had looked at this yarn. This is Red Heart, Heart and Soul in the Christmas colorway. I think it's really, really pretty. I don't have any sock yarn that's like holiday themed. That's my first. So that's pretty exciting. So Christmas socks for me this year or next. Plan on that. Serenity Sock Weight in Harlequin. I bought this colorway on a whim for myself. Well, not for myself, on a whim, and then offered it to you guys. So if one of you picks it, I still get Harlequin for myself. I'm sure I won't be making all of this sock yarn just for me, but the option is there. This is another option, speaking of, for you to choose. This is the Surf. It's the same colorway that I'm making my star socks out of, so that's up for grabs in case someone wants it. And here is Chili. And this might be the sock yarn that I am most excited about getting. Look at that green. When I first opened the box, I thought it was a brown because of the lighting. It was dismal outside and I didn't have lights on. And then I pulled it out and saw that it was this gorgeous, gorgeous green. And it is called Woodsy Green. I can't wait to make some super complex, amazing, gorgeous socks out of that. You have no idea. So those are my new things. On to what I am reading. I finished the second book in the Knit Chicks, no, not Knit Chicks, Chicks with Sticks series. It was called Knit Two Together, and now I'm reading Knitwise, which is, I mean, it's still cute. It's not hardcore reading. I'm about halfway through, probably finish it in the next couple days, so I only have one book left on my shelf to read from the library, so I better pick up more tomorrow. And Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. I said last week that I thought it was 17 discs. I was mistaken. It's 27. I'm on disc 18 right now. I plan on sitting down tomorrow, though, and listening through a few discs. One day last week I sat down. Well, I didn't just sit down. I knit and spun and crocheted, but also cleaned to 4 discs, and they're all about 70, between 60 and 80 minutes. I'm not exactly sure. More around the 70-minute mark. On to my list. This week it is 3 things that I am really excited about for this weekend. This weekend, Steve's mom is taking the kids. We are meeting her about 2 hours from here at 6 o'clock, so we'll be leaving here around 4-ish, dropping the kids off with her, having dinner, and then she will be bringing them back sometime on Monday. That means I have 2 solid days and 3 nights free of children. This hasn't happened since I moved to Kentucky. This hasn't, and that was pre-Mara. Gabriel was a year and a half when I moved. He's 4 and almost 4.5 now. Yeah. It has been a long time since I've had a weekend off from my job. It has been a long time since I've had like an actual day off from my job. Like a whole day to myself, morning to evening, or, 12 hours to myself. So I'm really, really excited for this weekend. I love my kids to pieces, but I am looking forward to, number 1, grown-up time. I don't know what we're doing yet. We haven't made definite plans, but Steve and I could go see a movie. We could go to dinner without someone sticking their hand in our drinks to get the ice cubes. Or saying, hey, sit down, that's not how we behave in restaurants. That's not how we behave at the table. We could have a meal where the only person's behavior that we have to worry about is our own. That is crazy and amazing, and I'm looking forward to that. Also looking forward to, in the grown-up behavior category, pre-babies, and even when Gabriel was really, really little, on days when I didn't have to do anything, I just lived in my blanket. I would get out of bed in my blanket, go to the kitchen and eat in my blanket. I don't sleep in clothes. If I fall asleep with clothes on, I pretty much strip out of them. So I just save myself the hassle and do that before bed. So yeah, walk around in my blanket. I am planning on doing that on Saturday. That is my Saturday plan, unless Steve and I come up with something to go out and do, which we might. Depends on the weather. If it's warm out, we'll probably go out and do something. If it's like snowing and nasty, we probably won't. The second thing I'm looking forward to is sleeping without a baby crawling in my bed. If Mara just like crawled in my bed and fell asleep and didn't wake me up when she did it, then I wouldn't really care. But she wiggles, she doesn't fall back asleep, she pokes at the mole on my neck and wakes me up, or she'll kick a little bit. I'm really hoping for 2 nights of really, really good sleep. Because it's been a while since I've had a full night of really good sleep. Well, I guess that's not true. A couple weeks ago, I passed out for 10 hours, basically, because I was at that stage of exhaustion where nothing was waking me up, so I slept for 10 hours straight. But I would like to have a couple nights where I sleep not because I'm exhausted, but because I can. And the third thing that I'm looking forward to is once I clean something, it will be clean for the weekend. Right now, my dining room table, I wipe it down 4 times a day at least. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then we usually have a snack at the table, and then we usually have a snack not at the table. But if we have the snack at the table both times, then that's 5 times a day that I wipe down my table because babies are messy. I'm only going to have to do that once or twice this weekend. It's such a little thing, but those 2 minutes after meals, clearing plates and wiping things down and then setting the candle back on the table, that adds up to, 20 minutes that I could be knitting this weekend instead. I'm really, really excited about that. I hope you've enjoyed this better quality podcast this week. Look forward to more of that. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you made something awesome with your sticks and string.